Welcome to Japan Unix Fancort webinar demonstration of aerial laser soldering. This is Japan Unix and Fancort's second soldering webinar in 2022 covering this topic, and that we are hosting for the North American marketplace and Mexico marketplaces. I am Steve Hoover, product specialist for the Japan Unix product line, and I represent Fancort Industries in West Caldwell, New Jersey. Fancort Industries is the North American and Mexican sales representative, applications development arm, and automation integrator for Japan Unix. Also with us today is Ken Takahashi, who is the Japan Unix North American and Mexico sales manager. Ken will be discussing the whys and benefits of aerial laser soldering that you will see today. We also have Shinichi Kitamiya, Japan Unix customer support and development engineer, who is based here in New Jersey at Fancort's facility. We'll be presenting a demonstration of the aerial laser soldering cell and setup. And finally, also with us is Charles Che. Charles is the Fancort technician who supports the Japan Unix soldering product line, working in our lab here in New Jersey, and also supporting our customer base. Charles will be presenting a short dispense demonstration, preparing the printed circuit boards that we will use in the aerial laser soldering demonstration. At the end of the demonstrations, there will be an opportunity to ask questions about the material you have seen during a short question and answer period through the Zoom chat box. To our present customers, future customers, and sales representatives who are with us today, thank you for joining. And we hope the material is helpful to you in your future production endeavors. Before we move to the dispense demonstration, I would like to just present a very short definition of aerial laser soldering so that we can understand what we will be showing today. Okay, you will see on the screen a very short PowerPoint that I'm just going to review quickly to move through the definition of aerial laser soldering technology. What is aerial laser soldering? Most of us are familiar with soldering on a point-to-point basis, maybe with a traditional circle that with Japan Unix laser soldering product line has existed for a while now. You will see on your screen to the left the regular spot that represents this laser soldering joint with a round lens, which we've been used quite a bit in the past. That lens could be in the past modified to make a half circle or a crescent, whatever shape might be needed. What aerial laser soldering is, instead of point-to-point type of laser soldering, you'll be able to solder multiple joints over a wider area, up to 20 millimeters by 20 millimeters, using a customized lens, which will create a heat source over multiple points where you can reflow the solder or reflow solder preforms. That's shown on the right of our PowerPoint here. This just shows another example or representation of the difference between spot soldering point to point and aerial laser soldering. On the left, we show an array of solder joints with reflowed solder where you would go point to point to reflow those. That was on the left. On the right is a representation of the same array of solder points done with an aerial laser soldering lens and capability. bringing together the soldering head on the area laser soldering system. On the left, you see the laser soldering head, which looks very similar to our spot or point-to-point type laser soldering head. But the addition with area laser soldering is that it is a pyrometer controlled temperature function that will give feedback to the system in order to control the temperature to the needed range that you have specified. Also part of a fully integrated system would be the soldering management software that Japan Unix offers, which can control such features and or at least monitor features such as wattage that's being put out, temperature, and also solder feed. We've switched the screen here and you can see the table or view of the Laser Soldering Manager software that could be used with the system, showing the setting of the wattage, setting of the temperature, and also the tracking of that data as you go through an area laser soldering program. With all that being said, we're going to go to a short demonstration of dispense of solder paste onto a printed circuit board that Charles Che is going to go through, preparing the printed circuit boards for our area laser soldering demonstration shortly.
Hello, how are you? My name is Charlie. Before we get into area soldering using our laser, it's important to put the soldering paste. And in order to do so, we set up a dispense machine here. It's powered by a servo motor, a little servo motor with a regulator, in combination with Genobi Robotic. It's similar to the ones you see in our contact robot soldering machines, to those that are familiar. But yeah, if we could bring up the camera here, I could show you how to use the machine. So we already have the fixture all set up here. All you have to do is gently place down the PCB. To give you an idea, we're going to be placing 9 different solder pastes here at the top right. So once we have all that set up, we're just gonna make sure that you have your solder paste hooked up to the dispense machine here. And once that's all set up, you're just gonna have to program the machine to the desired positions you need to be pasted, as well as the dispense amount. And once you do all that, you should be able to automate by pressing start here. All right. It's going to be a little bit hard to see on the camera here, but as you may be able to tell, the machine is very precise. It's quick and it's very simple to use. I'm going to run another demo just to prove how streamlined this process can be. One more time. All right. And as you can see here, now we're ready to solder.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shinichi Kitamiya, the soldering engineer of Japan Unix, North American unit. So now I'm going to introduce the laser demo machine in our New Jersey lab. We call solder King Laser. So the machine consists of gantry robot here, a 75 watt laser kit, which is under the bottom. and with area laser head. So the difference between area laser and the regular laser is the regular laser is focusing all the energy into one small laser spot to solder point by point. Compared to regular laser, the area laser can diffuse all the energy to spread over a large area. Then you can solder multiple points in that area in one time. The machine is coming with a full enclosure. So it has a filter on the front glass door, which allows you to see through the window, and you don't have to worry about eyes hurt by the class 4 laser. So also here, you can see a pyrometer feedback system. We call thermal probe. The feature of the thermal probe is the laser controller is getting feedback of the temperature, and you can set upper and the lower limit of the soldering temperature. Then the laser power is controlled by the temperature feedback in that range to avoid overheating or less heating. So now the demonstration we are going to show here is to solder, maybe it's hard to see, the 9 points that Charlie already dispensed. Okay. Okay, so we just put a board onto the fixture. Then we need to close the door. So it has a monitor here. You can watch the real-time soldering video. So yeah, it's done. So let's take it out. Okay.
Thank you, Charles and Kit, for that short demonstration. We're now going to go to Ken Takahashi, who will review some of the whys and benefits of area laser soldering.
Okay, thanks, Steve, Kit, and Charlie. I hope everybody enjoyed about the demonstration of solder dispense and to the area laser live demo. So now I wanted to talk about why area laser are needed, and then where we should be able to work with, and what's the advantages. So the area laser are launched the 2 years from now on, and then we are, I hope actually the our audience, their customers knows about the a laser soldering system, and then we do produce a single laser spot, another beam, unique beam shape, which is like a twin spot and donut stuff, and a square beam. So now we are more focusing about the area laser, which is the localized heat we creates And then our most suitable location, and then in an SMD process, our referral oven, all the pick and place items there. So area laser will be able to replace some of those. Yeah, this is in a kind of like the auto set of the flow and then where we at. So area laser cycle time, and then referral oven cycle time versus. Okay. So then we'll a little more like details talk about a heating process of the area laser, and then versus the our consumption of the electricity. Our localized heat is just about 2 kilowatts. And then our most famous and then popular SMT process is the referral oven, which is including initial driven is about up to the 11 kilowatt. And then they get stable to the 5 to the 6 kilowatt. And then it go to the reflow is like right in the middle of the wattage. So the area laser, you're gonna save a lot of like energy and then power consumptions. So also the equipment dimensions are, if I talk about it, the size is I would say around this between to the a laser marking or the PCB cleaner. So really compact, and then we can make it like a custom basis and an inline process as well. This is N2 referral oven is probably in our largest dimensions, which is about 2.8 meter width. And then you see here is inline processes we can make, and depends on your specification is, but are typically up to 1.5 meter width, probably the one. And then also the standalone bench top and a safety enclosure are required. So that's the standalone process around 900 or 800 mm square. So you can actually save lots of space in the production floor. So the combination of the laser soldering, area laser are optional units. And then also Steve actually drove it, the Soldering Manager, and then the temperature profiling, what we call the Summer Pro pyrometer drive. That is the old combination is we could use, and for the traceability in a standpoint. So if you have a mass production outside of North America, you may want to see the output and temperature, all kind of conditions, parameters. That's all be able to get the data right real time through our internet and then your laptop and your software. The Soldering Manager and the pyrometer combination is also able to track your each production pieces. So you may want to scan the barcode or QR code or whatever the stuff and to track and to the loading in your station. And then our soldering performance, all the temperature data, soldering recipes, all kind of stuff is be able to attach it. And then you can upload your MES. Okay. So once again is we have our global support are available in the worldwide. Most of the major city, and we have a trained engineer. Our on-site support are available, and from our headquarter instructions from North America, from Asia, Europe, and then also, of course, there's multiple languages supports are available. We also provide online demonstrations, which is like we just showed a live demo through the camera. So you can actually send us your actual sample, and then we actually learn in some process development over here, and we can show you the online demonstration, and we can have some Q&A, or show the performances with using the both contact and the laser soldering. So thanks for watching and our webinar and then the demonstrations. Please contact the domestic sales support to Steve Fubar. That's an email address, and so as our Kit and this address in Japan Unix people. So Steven, we'll get you back at the our Q&A sections. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Ken. We'll now take a few minutes to address any questions or observations that you may have. You can post your questions on the Zoom chat box, and they'll be fielded by our panel and to answer your questions at this time. If there are not any questions at this time, I'd see if we could put my email address and Kit's email address back up on the screen for you, so that you could send your questions to us over the next day or two. Right now, though, it does look like we have a one question. The question is, what has our experience been with multi-layer boards? Kitamiya, can you maybe help with that one a little bit? Thanks, Kit.
Okay, yes, it's a great question. So for multi-layer boards, I think sometimes we might need to use a hot plate to preheat the board to a certain higher temperature, then use area laser to cover such kind of multiple points. Yeah.
Thank you, Kit, for that feedback. Next question is, how well does laser work with different solder paste fluxes? Kit, would you like to field that one again? Thank you.
Okay, yes. Actually, we are doing a soldering test in our New Jersey lab to try a different solder paste. So sometimes it's you need to adjust the laser parameters to avoid like a flux explosion. So it's all up to the soldering parameters, we can say here at this moment.
Thank you, Kit. We'll just wait a few seconds to see if there's another question or two. We have a question from our internal audience here.
When you use area laser to reflow haze, is it less likely to create solder splatter than concentrated traditional medium?
Yes, the question is, when you use aerial laser soldering technique, is it more or less prone to shock to the solder paste as you provide the energy to it? And again, I think that one is going to go back to what Kit's answer was on the earlier question. We're going to have to control the wattage we use, the temperature control with a pyrometer feature of the laser soldering system, and the time that we dwell on it. So because every content of flux is different, every different solders are different. So again, through the parameters, we certainly will be able to control that and prevent solder splash or solder explosion shock, if you will. So I hope that was clear. Another question here. How many cycles is your laser guaranteed for? Oh, boy. It doesn't really go by cycles. We rate the laser we use for 2,000 hours. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when the laser is only on for like a split second to either solder multiple joints, as we're showing in the area laser soldering, or solder a one solder point, it takes a long time to add up to that. And in reality, the laser will go beyond that 2,000 hours, that's for sure. What type of laser? Kit, I'll let you answer the technical part. And maybe
Yes, it is a diode laser. Yeah, this question is very typical. We need to try. Yeah, if you are interested in more details, yeah, we can set up a separate core. You can send us parts. Yeah, we give a shot. Yeah. What type of components will we solder in the demonstration? It's not components. It's a kind of pre-tinned pads. So we just add a solder paste to the pads and then reflow the 9 points in one time, instead of the traditional way to solder point by point. So the other question is it possible to incorporate flux dispense within the laser enclosure to make the process more efficient? The answer is a yes, we can do that.
just checking to see if there's any further questions, and okay. So we do not have any further questions, but if anybody does have any further questions, I'd like to see if we could pop up Kitamiya and my email address on the screen again here. If you'd hold on 1 second, we'll get that up for you. Okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go and run another sample here, reflowing the solder on the boards as our last change of plans. Sorry about that.
Holding time is 4 seconds. 4 seconds for 9 points.
Maybe it's hard to see, so I just make the boards closer. So you can see it's here. So it's 9 points. And we're setting the soldering time is 4 seconds. So you can see it's make it on in focus.
What is the area of this nice soldering?
What is the area? I think the easy way is to show, we have laser alignment of paper. So that's the actual laser, area laser size. It's kind of a square shape.
What's in mm? What's in mm?
It's 11 millimeters. Yes, 11 millimeter square.
Okay, thank you, Kit, for helping with the questions. This will conclude our area laser soldering webinar. Please be on the lookout for advertisements or reminders about future Japan Unix Fancort webinars during 2022. We hope that the webinar was beneficial for your future needs, and we look forward to talking with you and working with you. Thank you. Yes, the equipment you're asking about, PTH, through-hole components. It certainly can be used for that. The only issue that we have to address, and we certainly can for you, is the fact that we have to ensure that the laser does not shoot through the via hole where the lead is located for reasons of not wanting to damage or burn anything possibly underneath that. In that case, if there was an issue, we may have to go to a standard laser head with a standard lens, like a ring lens, so that we do not shoot the laser power through and cause more problems than we're actually solving.
Okay, the next question, what is the max size of a ring lens? We have several types of lens kit as options. So now today we're demonstrating is 11 millimeters square. And we also have other shapes like a rectangle. So far, yeah, for the maximum coverage area, I think we can set up a different, a separate core if you are interested in talking about more details on the application.
Okay, hold on. We have a little clarification on that last question. Hold on.
Yeah, we have a clarification on the maximum coverage area. So it's 25 millimeters times 30 millimeters. It's a rectangle shape. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for attending. We appreciate it.
Oh.
Yes. Okay, the last couple of questions here, we have your names and we certainly will get in touch with you to answer these last, I think we have two last questions. We will get in touch. Thank you.